Welcome to Astana Times Now. I'm your host, Dmitry Lee. In this broadcast, we will take a look at the most pressing issues for countries within the Commonwealth of Independent States, Kazakhstan's contribution to peaceful atomic energy use, and what industries are the country's officials betting on, among other stories. Let's get started. 9 Commonwealth of Independent States leaders during a recent meeting in Sochi, Russia, signed 19 agreements concerning regional security, fight against terrorism, crime and radicalization, trade and transportation and tourism, among other issues.
Russian President Vladimir Putin said at the meeting that economy should be the primary focus. He encouraged his colleagues to improve the CIS free trade regime and customs procedures. First of all, we should prioritize our economy, as usual. I would like to note that since the beginning of the year, there has been a recovery in economic activity in our countries. In particular, the volume of mutual trade increased by 25%. It reached $75 billion. To ensure further steady growth of commodity exchange, it is necessary to further improve the free trade regime within the CIS, consistently remove barriers to facilitate the movement of goods and services, simplify customs procedures through interaction with the Eurasian Economic Commission. Tajik President Emomali Rahmon, whose country will chair the CIS next year and borders Afghanistan to the south, said his country will prioritize regional security during its chairmanship. Security and stability issues will remain a priority during the chairmanship of Tajikistan. We will promote practical implementation of decisions and program documents adopted by the CIS to combat global threats and challenges in every possible way. These include terrorism, extremism, drug smuggling, and other types of transnational organized crime. Kazakh President Nursultan Nazarbayev encouraged the gathered heads of state to study trade and economic relations deeper in the wake of global economic uncertainty and emphasized the importance of the service sector within the alliance. CIS countries should pay special attention to deepening trade and economic relations, to search for new resources of economic growth for all our countries. One of the most dynamically developing segments of the world economy is the service market. Free trade in services in the CIS will open new opportunities for our business people and bring our country's trade and economic cooperation to a new level. I propose that the Council of Heads of Government and the Executive Committee be instructed to intensify the work on the draft agreement on free trade in services and adopt it in the near future.
Astana recently hosted the 18th Forum for Nuclear Cooperation in Asia. The forum addressed using nuclear science and technology for environmental protection. The forum organization said it will help Kazakhstan develop peaceful atomic energy, seek new approaches in radiological safety, and introduce advanced technologies.
The Nuclear Cooperation Forum gathered representatives of 11 countries of the Asia-Pacific region. Established in 2000 in Japan, the FNCA promotes the peaceful use of nuclear technology in Asia. The main purpose of the forum is to combine resources and knowledge in solving problems, namely in the field of technology and nuclear science. At present, mankind is facing many challenges, in particular climate change and environmental pollution. Nuclear science can solve this problem. Next week we are holding a special seminar with the Japanese Atomic Energy Agency to share our knowledge and technology for work we have done at the Semipalatinsk test site, so they could use this to solve their environmental problems.
Minister of National Economy Timur Suleimanov announced recently that Kazakhstan's GDP grew 4.3% in the first 9 months of 2017. The announcement was part of a report assessing the country's current social-economic development.
Ministry officials attributed the growth to an increase in turnover in the mining and the processing industries, as well as an increase in oil production due to excess volumes at such oil fields as Kashagan, Tengiz, and Karachaganak. The minister also noted increases in foreign investment and foreign trade. In general, Kazakhstan's foreign trade turnover was $48.7 billion and increased by 26.4%. The gross inflow of direct foreign investments is $29.8 million. This is information for the first half of the year, and it increased by 8.6%.
An incompatible donor liver transplant surgery was recently performed for the first time in Kazakhstan. The surgery was performed jointly with South Korean doctors on a 55-year-old patient with cirrhosis of the liver. Doctors prepared for months prior to the surgery, which was completed at the National Scientific Center for Oncology and Transplantation.
A liver transplant can cost up to $100,000 abroad, but only $15,000 in Kazakhstan. Officials are hoping Kazakhstan's advances in liver transplant surgery and recent advances in open-heart surgeries will spur medical tourism in Kazakhstan. Doctors, however, warn such surgeries do carry risks.
The answer is yes.
These are very risky and complicated procedures. Nevertheless, the percentage of mortality after transplantation is very low, with blood type incompatibility. Usually, rehabilitation depends on how the patient had felt before the procedure. In this case, the patient's condition was satisfactory. Rehabilitation will take about 1 month.
With a full capacity of 400,000 pairs of shoes per year, a Taraz shoe manufacturing factory is hoping to start exporting its products to Kyrgyzstan and Russia by the end of the year. The factory is using German equipment and local raw materials.
Last year, this Taraz-based men's shoe factory produced 135,000 pairs of shoes. This year, in just 9 months, it produced 125,000 pairs. In the near future, the management is hoping to start manufacturing women's and children's shoes as well. We have agreed to export shoes to Russia and Kyrgyzstan. We hope that we will implement this in the fourth quarter. There is a full production cycle in our company. Raw materials are obtained from the cattle.
The Kazakh President's Archive in Almaty recently donated numerous rare historical documents to the United States Library of Congress. The donations were made during a conference of archivists.
Leading American, Kazakh, Kyrgyz, Russian, and Uzbek archivists discussed at the conference the state of Kazakhstan's historical archives and agreed those archives should be organized into a single information system.
The Archive
of the President of Kazakhstan is working on integrating the forces so that our Kazakhstan archivists can keep abreast of the latest advances in archival technologies to usefully use for themselves. To this end, we are holding this international conference today. The reports of foreign scientists and specialists contain a lot of useful information and information about the latest achievements and the introduction of new technologies in archival business.
The artist organization I Virtuosi recently presented an art event in Astana which combined classical music, literature and fine arts in a casual atmosphere.
Paintings by Russian artists and poems by young Kazakh poets were presented to spectators during the event. Organizers said the idea was to deviate from the typical concert and create more informal and open atmosphere between the artists and spectators. We decided to mix 3 different creative industries like music, art and literature. We, the Baum Quartet, are performing Grieg String Quartet and Bottesini's Elegy for a double bass with the orchestra. I think this evening is a great opportunity for our viewers to enjoy art in all its forms.
Thank you for watching Astana Times Now. Stay tuned and we'll see you next week with the latest in Kazakh news.